I was a single child and I went into a foster family of 2 parents and 3 other children, so that was hard to get used to from coming from just me and my mum. But it was nice, it was busy and fun. They made me feel really welcome and got me involved with the rest of the family, and it felt normal.
Every child deserves hope. Norfolk County Council needs foster carers to provide safe, happy homes for vulnerable children and young people in its care. It makes a real difference if children and young people can be fostered locally so that they can maintain contact with family members, keep going to school and stay in touch with friends. Placements range from a few days to a few months, or in some circumstances until they're old enough to be independent. The right foster carer at the right time can transform a child's life. In Norfolk, we need 50 new foster carers every year.
It was really scary. I thought I was going to a children's home at first. But when we arrived, it was just a normal house. It was lovely to be in a normal family environment at last.
I've always been interested in fostering. I used to work at the hospital and we had a little baby on the ward who they needed a foster carer for, and she ended up staying on the ward for a lot longer than she should have done because there was nobody trained to have had the qualifications or the experience to look after her medical needs. And I just thought it was such a pity that there wasn't, and that sort of really got me going. And I came home and spoke to Mike and sort of said, I really want to go for this.
When I got there and saw other people were just everyday people, just the same as myself, and there was nobody with masses of experience or anything, and I looked around and I thought, well, yeah, I could probably do this as well.
I've worked in a school and we had children in the school who were fostered, and I saw what a difference that could make to their lives, having that sort of stability in their background. So from that, and because we've reached a stage in our life where we're comfortable, we have a nice home, my own children are a bit older, we felt we're in a position to look into it further. Initially I just contacted the county council. I think I searched it on the internet, got sent through a load of information, brochures, leaflets. From there, if you decide you want to take it further, you apply to the county council to become a foster carer. They will then give you opportunity to attend some introductory sessions. It's called Skills to Foster.
Every week we sort of started off with sort of a little tiny package of knowledge, and it just grew and grew each week, and every subject was done with extreme care and precision, really, and that was done in a thoughtful way, and I thought the trainer was excellent.
Our children had grown up a little bit more, and we felt we weren't really ready to get too old yet, so we thought it would be another challenge for us in a way, and something that we could do, something we were used to doing, so we felt it would be nice to try. When we knew we were going to have our first child, we felt very excited, quite nervous, because we'd worked towards this for well over a year, and we were told we needed to be at the hospital to collect a newborn baby. So that feeling is terrifying, actually. So we had the car seat, back in the car again. We drove to the hospital. We went up to the unit. We met Mum, who actually gave us this little baby. We had a chat with Mum, and then we took the baby away.
I started thinking about fostering, having worked with young people quite a lot, having trained as a youth and community development worker, but feeling that I actually wanted to work one-to-one with young people. I felt that I could probably achieve more and have a closer relationship. I feel I'm treated as a professional by the social workers and other people that's involved in their lives, and I like that because I think what I do is really important, and I probably know those young people better than any of the professionals that are involved. Financially, yes, it does work, and it means it is an alternative to paid out employment.
I didn't go into it as a job to earn money. I went into it because it was something that I wanted to do, I'd always wanted to do, and I felt I could give in that respect.
for what the children have lost, you make up for giving them good times, days out, holidays, nice things, because you want them to have things that they probably haven't experienced before.
We decided on siblings as our idea of being a family is to sort of try to keep children together, and we can understand that sort of side of things. We're also able to accommodate them as well with their separate bedrooms.
We've had various placements. After the little girl with Downs had come to live with us for a little while, we then had a mother and baby placement with a mum with a learning disability and a new baby, and that was very rewarding. And we bridged him to adoption.
Young mums that come to live with us are usually sort of teenage mums, for various reasons, often because of their age, usually sort of 15, 16, and they haven't got or are unable to live at home for various reasons, so they haven't got the support of their home life.
I mean, you might get some difficult children, but I mean, I was mildly difficult, but I've just with a bit of direction and things, and a bit of
just to provide normality to a troubled,
normality is
child.
all kinds of things as well, isn't it? It's not just 2.4 children.
There's no such thing as a typical foster carer. They can and do come from as broad a range of backgrounds as the children who need their help. You can apply to be a foster carer regardless of age, marital status, gender, ethnicity or religion, and you don't have to have children of your own. You need to have a healthy lifestyle and be able to provide the child with a room of their own in your home. The essential skills are patience, understanding and a sense of humour. As a foster carer, you will have your own dedicated support worker, access to ongoing training, and you'll become part of a community of foster carers who can share their experience with you.
Well, you have your own allocated social worker who is your social worker. Obviously, the child has their social worker, and you can call on either of them. I haven't had an awful lot to do with the children's social workers. I tend to rely more heavily on my own social worker, who's been absolutely wonderful, and I can phone her up or email her or anything, and she's always there with advice and support. She'll come out if need be. So I have found the social workers very supportive, yes.
Sometimes the way you see forward isn't perhaps not the way they see forward, but if the outcomes for the child in the end is positive and the child is paramount, then sometimes you do have to agree to disagree, but that's part of the relationship we build up with a support worker.
Well, that's the biggest thing with fostering, is the impact on your family, and it's the thing I least thought about prior to going into fostering. And it's difficult for them at times because they have these people in their house on their PS3s, taking their parents' attention. So it takes a bit of adjusting.
They manage incredibly well. Taking them to the park, playing with them in the garden, playing with them on the slide, changing nappies, feeding them, nurturing them, looking after them. They're very, very good. When they do go, it is sad, but it's also very happy because you know that you've achieved something. Well, hopefully you've achieved something, and you know that they're moving on. They've got a fresh start. They've got a chance, and that gives you more of a buzz than anything else. Actually, it's wonderful.
You know that you've given that child a good start and the best that you can, and hopefully that will stay with them, even if they can't remember it. That grounding will stay with them for the rest of their lives. So you've done something worthwhile. So it'll make the pain bearable, hopefully.
I think that the best moment for me was when we went to the christening of the little baby that we looked after. And it was just lovely because she was with her new family. She'd been adopted, new family, and the grandparents came up to us, didn't they, and said thank you very much.
Yeah, and I think for me probably the best moment was we looked after a little girl for quite a long time, and when she arrived she was pretty dysfunctional. She was everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And for me, I think the best thing was her first day at school. So she had we have a photo of her standing outside the back door in her school uniform, beaming from ear to ear. That for me is something I'll never forget.
the little 7-year-old girl that we look after occasionally. And I remember one of the first times that we had her, we took her down to the beach because we live near the sea in the summer, obviously. And I took her paddling, and just the joy on her face, you know, first time on the beach in the sea, it was just incredible, really. And you thought, I've given that child an opportunity that she might not otherwise have had, and it was just brilliant. Yeah.
Our other placement, he's 11, and I was so proud of him. We went to the inter-county sports day. He came running around with his head held high, and he finished the course. And I said to him, "However did you do that? You were so far behind." He said, "I'm not letting my school down. My teacher said, could I do my best?" And I did. And everybody clapped him at the finishing line, and I was really, really proud of him. I'm getting emotional thinking about it.
When all the court cases were over, and I knew I was definitely staying there, and I felt I could just relax, and that was it then. It was the end of all the hard stuff, you know, and I could have contact with my birth family if I wanted to, but it was my choice. And I think once I knew all that was over, I could just settle, and I felt part of their family then.
I would fully recommend the introductory sessions, and at that stage have, you know, open and frank discussions with partners, children, about how it will affect you, because it's going to change, you know, the dynamics of your family without question.
It's a question of, you know, is this for me? Is this what I would like to do? Would I get a lot of satisfaction out of this? That's really what you want to be thinking.
We need people to come forward and to provide these places for them. I think I wouldn't have done the things that I've done today if it wasn't for being fostered. It wouldn't have given me that hope to carry on and do the things that I've done.
If you would like to help foster hope in Norfolk, please complete the form in the pack that accompanies this DVD. Once we have received your form, a social worker will contact you and arrange to visit. If both parties agree, you will go forward to a full assessment and be invited to a Skills to Foster preparation course.